Oh dear.
I can't think of the other characters.
See, this is, I mean, for two people who don't have regrets, if there was one thing in your past you could go back and change, what would it be?
Oh.
Was it your mum always used to say, if I knew then what I know now? Is it knowledge?
Yeah, probably. Again, it's what the learning thing, isn't it? Because I'm so keen to learn now. I should have paid attention back then. But I mean, now as well, I wish I'd paid attention in French class, because it would have come a bit easier now. You know, I'm settling into it now, but...
Well, French is good. But I did pay attention in French class, and I got O-level French.
And you still don't think it helps?
I mean, that was 50 years ago.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's almost like school French is so different to when it comes to actually living it.
You didn't learn conversational French.
No.
In the same way, I'm not sure.
Well, you do oral, don't you? As they say, you do an oral.
You do.
Yes. Which I think I used to panic if that came up. There's something about then I just didn't have the confidence. So
no, it's not a good idea to have too many regrets in life.
Well, no. Anybody who hasn't got any, I would say, was not telling the truth. Everybody must have something they wish they'd done differently.
But then I think, or maybe I wish I'd done. But then I've turned out the way I am because of all the things that have happened to me, good, bad, ugly, or whatever.
And sometimes you learn more by your mistakes, don't you? It's getting very deep, folks. What's the skill you're the most proud of?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because I think if you'd asked me when I was working, it would have been a different answer. I think skills that you have when you're working are not... I always thought I was a fair manager, and I always thought I managed people quite well. My last manager didn't agree with me. But yeah,
you probably wasn't firm enough. That's what I was always criticised with. Yeah, why'd you have to be?
I was too soft.
Yeah, why'd you have to be?
But I think people worked with me and for me rather than because they got told off if they didn't. You know.
So this is where there's two different people in this. There's people that say you need to be firm, don't cross over that line, and there's others that, like me and you, who think you should work close with people to get the most out of them, and they're more likely to. And that's the way I think. That to me, that's how it works.
Yeah,
but those people that are firm and say you can't cross that line, you're boss, and they just seem to think that's the way it's got to be.
People say, I'm not here to be liked. Well, yeah, but I don't want to go through life knowing everyone hates me either.
No. Exactly, you know. And I just don't get it. I don't know why.
No, I didn't get it. So that would have been when I was working. What was the actual question? Skill? Or?
Yeah, you're most proud of.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you're managing skills when you were at work.
When I was at work. Now I would say the crafting, but I'm not necessarily brilliant at it. I'm glad I do it. I'm glad I look to create something myself rather than just automatically going out and buying something. And recycling.
That is the thing.
Materials.
So your skill is building up your skills to make rather than buy.
Yes, it kind of make do and mend philosophy. I really like. So
when you do it, feels good because you know you not only save money, you've saved the planet, as it were.
Saved land from landfill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's my policies as well as much as I can. One skill with me, I think, other than the crafting thing, but one thing I'm always proud of is that I like to think is empathy. I think I like to be empathetic. Empathetic? Is that right? Is that the right word? Empathic, maybe that's it. And also one of the big ones as well, I remember in my interviews, or not interviews, when they used to do supervision every now and then, was when they always used to say one thing that you're really good at, Jan, is admitting your mistakes rather than trying to be defensive.
Yes. I mean, your sewing skills are very good, and I think you underestimate those.
Well, I think the thing is, when it's something you do and you don't think about it, you might not necessarily think of it as a skill. It's just something you do. It's only stands out more for what you.
How many of your clothes you've made this year?
Yeah, I know. It's annoying in a way because I've got no room in my wardrobe now.
But you have made a lot.
Yeah, I have. I've got to get round to wearing them all. Like that suit I made. I'm hoping in spring I'll get used to that.
Yeah, a lot of them have been more summery stuff.
Yeah, and I like the fact that I've learnt the skills of upcycling clothes, turning them into something else. I like that as well, which again comes back to that same from landfill thing.
No, you should be proud of that.
Yeah.
What's the best bargain you've ever found?
Oh, God, there's loads of them, I think. Well, I think it probably comes down to clothes again, but one is my coat. Because that, for a big warm coat, and it only cost me €15. I was so pleased with that. It's one of those things I put on and I think, I can't believe I've still got this and it only cost me €15.
Where did you get that?
I think it was at H&M in Laval or Le Mans, something like that, one of those two. And anything that I find that I still use from a Big Grenier or something.
Yes.
Oh, you might have got this one last time. Let's see if you remember now. What's the weirdest thing you've brought home when you were a child?
The weirdest thing I brought home?
Yeah, you did. I'm sure you said something about this.
I liked worms.
I think that's what you said before. Yeah.
I'm not one particularly for creepy crawlies. I'm not one that embraces them all, but I've always liked worms. Just to bring them in. Yeah.
Well, what did you do with them? Just to show Mum?
Yeah, not got a worm, Mum. I don't think she was as keen. Yeah, I do like worms. I talk to them if I find them in the garden. They're very good for you, aren't they?
They are good, yeah.
And you go, hang on, I'll just put you somewhere. Look, hang on, I'm putting you somewhere nice. Yeah.
I do, I must admit, I don't necessarily carry them, but we'll toss them back in a bit of the garden and then they'll find their own way.
Very good, yeah. I told you I used to rescue rabbits.
I'm not so sure about that.
Right. Well, there was a man who lived around the corner from us who used to breed and show rabbits. So he always had tons. And it was lovely because he used to go around when they were first born and they were lovely. But if he didn't want them anymore, my dad used to kill them for him. So my dad would bring them home, break their necks and skin them in the garden. Rabbit stews are really nice. But I did rescue a few. Yeah, because we had from the same man we had rabbits, so we had these like pedigree rabbits, whatever. But then Dad,
there's such a thing as a pedigree rabbit. I didn't.
Oh
know
yes,
that.
like you show them, like you show dogs and things.
Yeah,
like
I didn't
that.
realise that's because they were pedigree.
Yeah,
I just thought because they were pretty.
Yeah, no, there's certain breeds and everything.
Oh.
The only ones I ever remember is Smoke Pearl, because I named my two rabbits Smokey and Pearl because I knew that was their breed, smoky grey colour.
Yeah,
but yeah, my dad
they
would
are
go,
pretty those.
Sharon, I bought 6 rabbits over. There's only 5 here now. Oh, this one's so bad. So yeah, I rescued a couple of those. I used to make rose petal perfume.
Oh, I tried that. Yeah,
it stunk.
It used to end up like stagnant water rather than rose.
Yeah, you stuff a load of rose petals.
Yeah, people do it now, don't they?
I think there must be a way of doing it.
Yeah, we've obviously done it wrong.
It was just put your mama's perfume on her birthday.
Yeah. No, it definitely wasn't the same. I used to think it was making perfume. Yeah.
If you owned a store, what would you sell?
Well, I suppose it'd just be craft stuff, wouldn't it? And I like the idea of having a craft shop and then be sat at the side making something while you haven't got any customers and being able to show what you're doing, yeah. And it passes the time. Not many shopkeepers can be doing something like that when they're running a shop, can they? I mean, if you've got an off licence, you can't sit there drinking all day.
You probably wouldn't have the off licence for long.
You've got a food shop, you can't sit there eating all day, but crafting's a bit healthier.
Yes.
I mean, books actually would be another one, but even though I probably would use the time to read, because I don't take enough time to read now, but what about you?
I don't know. Yeah, probably the same.
Yeah.
I like the idea of buying fabric and then making up little packs of fat quarters.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking of that with all the stuff with the fabric I've got. But because people get so much money for those, and I just think, why do they charge that? I know it's the time to cut it. I do think they're well overpriced. What 5 things would you like to have achieved by the time you're 70?
Oh, Jesus, I've only got 9 years left. No pressure. I mean, more travelling, because by the time I'm 70, I would have thought I'm going to slow down and not do a lot. So I want to pack a bit of travelling in.
You're going to slow down and not do a lot?
Rather than now, where I'm so speedy. I'm going to like by the time I'm 70. Hang on, Sharon's coming round. She'll be round on Thursday. I'll have to sleep like 14 hours a day.
Oh, it made me cry now.
just getting slower. Oh dear. Oh. It's no good, is it? Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, travelling. Maybe, I think Max, I've got one or two. She's still doing it. Don't still go. It was the idea of me reading really slowly. What's in your head as a really slow Sharon then?
No, just that you're not a speedy person, are you? You don't do things. It's just that comment. I don't want to slow down.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh, it's your turn, I think.
I was supposed to come up with 5, wasn't I?
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was 5.
Right, travelling.
You definitely haven't got enough time now. No.
Yeah,
So
do just
travel, slowing down.
no. Travel before I slow down.
Oh, that'd be an idea. Yeah, I should never get enough travelling.
Anyway, oh dear. It'd be nice to have a grandchild. Am I allowed to say that on camera?
Well,
I don't want to put pressure on any of my kids.
If they're watching, I mean,
I do try not to. I don't want to put pressure on because they don't have to. Having children's a big thing.
yeah.
But I really would like a squidgy
grandchild. You'll be renting them.
Yes.
I'm sure there's some that rent grandchildren.
Well, when I was at work, I used to freak people out because when people were pregnant, I used to say, "I'd really like to deliver a baby."
Is that so creepy?
I said, "No, Sharon, you're not delivering my baby."
That, going back to things I wish I'd done, one
Deliver
of the
a
things
baby.
was be a midwife. I really wish
I
I'd gone down. I think I'd have been wonderful at that. I'd have loved it.
I'd still like to deliver a baby. I think I know what to do.
We haven't come up with 5 things yet, have we? But
deliver a baby, to have a grandchild, lots of
travelling and slowing down, and there's one more to go.
No, the travelling was before I slowed down. Not I need to slow down. More of the same, really. Just pack more in.
Yeah.
More crafting, more reading, more writing, more of all that stuff. Less of some of the other stuff. I think I need to watch less telly. I need to turn it off some evenings and actually do something else.
It does help you relax, but then me and you really don't need to relax. We're not at work, are we? So I don't
need
know.
to slow down, do I?
No, you don't need to slow down.